CS will be talking about the structures and how we want to ensure that there is coordination of this communication from the national level all the way to the county level. But even as we do that, the information and messages going on in each county will be different. And so you need to be able to work closely with your teams to ensure that the message you're giving, even though it may be different, but it's part of the core message that comes from the top, from the presidency, the cabinet, the regional commissioners, all the way to the county commissioners, ensuring we're giving very clear information for everybody. The way that you interact with the media houses across within the counties, my ministry has county information officers whose responsibility is to make sure that they are working directly with the media houses and the local teams of media across the counties. And so they will be able to work with you and assist where necessary to be able to organize interviews, to be able to collect and gather information for you that you can use while working with the editors and the various people that are involved in the media. It's important that you get to know who are the presenters, especially when you're dealing with the local languages, vernacular stations. It's key that you understand what messages are going out. But primarily as government, we need to continue to communicate development, communicate security, and all the opportunities our citizens have to be able to better their lives. Knowing the media people by name is actually critical, their contacts, to ensure that if there is timely information that you need to pass out to the citizens, then you're able to do that very, very quickly. And my ministry will ensure that we help you to be able to do that. You need to also work very closely with the local experts within the counties, within the regions. These are people like the teachers, the church elders, community elders, former civil servants, women group leaders, and many others, to just ensure if there are messages that need to be sent across, then there are ways of being able to ensure the messages are distilled. You are going to be communicating economic information. There's been questions about our indebtedness as a country. How do we make sure that all the way to the world level, every citizen is able to understand what is our debt level? You need to have all these partners in the way that you're going to be able to communicate. We will ensure that we are packaging this information for you so that you're able to present it. You also need to make sure you're getting in touch with what's happening across, and especially in media. So there are three key programs that you need to be listening to. Morning news is where a lot of the news and current affairs is also happening, that is being disseminated to our citizens. You need to know what's happening there. Also at lunchtime, evening, 6, 7, and 9 p.m., you need to be hearing, even though you have information, what information is being disseminated for the citizens. You need to be able to digest and ensure that you are able to counter or provide answers to any of the questions that are being asked. There are many people who call into these stations, they have questions. You should be able to respond to those questions at the local level. Just an overview, but to say, as the Ministry of Information, Communications and Technology, we'll work extremely closely with you in how we work with media, in providing you with the necessary resources for you to be able to communicate, and even the technology side. We've ensured now we have fiber connectivity across all the counties. We're going to sub-counties, and whatever infrastructure you're going to need, we are in the process of providing where we haven't provided, so that you will be empowered and are able to respond even on social media. You will have the necessary teams as we operate as one government that will allow you, even all the way to the ward level, to be able to provide the information and questions that people have in those areas. So Waziri, in the interest of time, let me end there. There'll be opportunity for questions later, but thank you very much. Asanteni.
We will complete this exercise by the end of February. Let us stay on it. We would like everyone within the police service to be registered, and we have the details of everyone in the police service. And now I insist that because we want orderly records for everyone, KPRs and NPRs must be registered too. Everyone holding a gun that they were given by us, IG, has got to be registered. So the police commanders in your regions and in your counties, NKPRs or NPRs who are there have to be registered together with the rest of the police officers who are being registered. We want to have a census. I would like to know who holds a gun officially. And we have that record. We have to be accountable public officers so that we know which kind of people are these. We have given guns, we are able to trace them, and we are able to track them. I will discuss at another forum the future and the planning about that NPR and KPR, because it's a program now that we need to relook at. And then, by the way, I am open to advice from all of you, especially the county commissioners and the regional commissioners, because you have practical experience on this and how it is working. I would be happy to listen to what you think about this. But for now, those that we have given guns, NPRs and KPRs, must be registered. And you know, we already have said that we are going to review, and I want us to look at all the firearm licenses in the country. And I hope that by the grace of God, by 18th of March, because I have not revised the dates of the moratorium, every licensed firearm holder will have this card. And you can see it's got a microchip. It's a card issued by the Firearm Licensing and Control Board. It's got a microchip. It's got all the details of the firearm holder. And when the police commander, for example, in the region, requires you to produce this card because you hold a firearm, you must produce it, because this is how we get all the details we need on every firearm, licensed firearm holder. This card, everyone who is licensed to hold a firearm in Kenya, every civilian who's licensed to have a firearm, must now have this card. And we are not going back on this arrangement. I do not have the time, and I don't want to sound like I am whining and moaning about this. The police officers in this room know the pains we have gone through. We collect cartridges, we are not able to trace the guns because they are not registered anywhere. We are fighting crime, and we are committed to fight crime. My brothers and sisters from the police force understand this. Let us stop this sometimes public relations engagements we do when it involves the security of our people. So we are ready. The Firearms Licensing and Control Board is doing this. So it is you, the police commanders, but most importantly, we start with public awareness through the regional and county commissioners, and cascade this down to the deputy county commissioners and to the chiefs and assistant chiefs, so that everyone who holds a firearm in Kenya needs to have this card by 18th of March, as it were. I am aware that a group of people has gone to court. They're called the Ngao National Gun Owners Association. The others who are not members of Ngao have no problem. The members of Ngao seem to have a problem with registering. They have gone to court, and the court has stopped us from dealing with them for now. When it comes to 19th, IG Boynet and us will decide what we will do. But you must have a card if there is somebody who's licensed to have a firearm. These are things we need to do to strengthen our country, and we are going to discuss details of this. We are going to have several operations in the country to mop up, because there are areas in the country where we suspect actually that there are illegal firearms in civilian hands or in hands that should not have them. We are going to move on this. It's a fact of life. I try to avoid speaking like this, but it's a fact of life that we cannot go on this way, where we engage in certain activities as if we are engaged in PR when it involves security of our people. Certain neighborhoods in our cities that have been a problem over a period of time. 2019 is the year to clean them. I actually don't care what anyone else thinks about this. We have to move in and sort out some of these problems. There are areas in this country you people know. The police officers in this room understand what I'm talking about. The headquarters and all of you brothers in service. It gives me great pleasure to be here.
The next is Eastern Region, Northeastern Region, Mr. Paul Soy. Another national interest. One of the key national interests include prosecution and achievement of the Vision 20 of the Big Four agenda, as well as the wider Vision 2030 target is provision of public safety and security. Next slide, please. Now, in providing public safety and security, the Constitution demands that in everything that we do, it must be done in accordance with the law. It must also be in compliance with the rule of law, democracy, human rights, as well as fundamental freedoms. Now, some of the threats that we face at the moment include terrorism, and Dr. Kimani has given instructions that we must fight and ensure that we cleanse this country of the natural and as well as environmental crimes. Now, in order to respond to these threats, but for us to achieve the common objective of cooperation, very close cooperation, and very, very close coordination. Player in the national security space with other government ministries and departments, and the third and most critical level is working as on a whole of government approach together with the Kenyan people, so that we have a one unified whole of nation that shows a response to disaster. And if you look at those individuals, you can see that they come from different agencies, responsive when we work together. Now, what is the problem in every county or every sub-county or every region? What is it that we must do to serve our people? And I want to make reference to that very successful response to the deceit attack of them. So you get in there and do your job. You don't stray into things that don't concern you. Unafanya kazi yako. The law mandates you to do, then we certainly succeed. Second, to share ideas and craft solutions to these problems that face our people. The CS has instructed us to do that we strive towards realizing zero accidents during the month of December.